Welcome back guys. Today in this step-by-step After Effects tutorial, I will show you guys how to animate this character in Adobe After Effects. I will also show you guys how I designed this character in Adobe Illustrator step by step. Before we start, let's look into our sponsorship message first. This video is brought to you by Invato Video Hive. As you guys can see in here, in Invato Video Hive, there are thousands of templates. You can get it from here. You can use these templates in Adobe After Effects or Premiere. Check this out guys, it's really cool. All of these projects are done by professional designers. If you are a special effect artist yourself, you will save a lot of time by using these templates. Most of these templates are mind-blowing guys. For an example, check this one out. Really cool guys. Use these templates and make your project cool and professional. Please check this out guys. I have put a link to Invato Video Hive under the description below. Alright guys, so first thing we draw that mushroom first. To draw a mushroom is very easy guys. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use the basic shapes here to draw the mushroom. So first start with the head. To draw the head, we can go to the star or polygon tool. So let's start with the polygon tool and click on the artboard in here. And we need 3 sides for this thing, and the radius doesn't matter, we can increase later on. So I change the sides to 3 and say okay. Alright, so we increase the size of this one. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to make these corners as rounded corners. As you guys already know, it's very easy in Adobe Illustrator. Just select this direct selection tool, then you will see all these dots appearing in those corners, and just bring it right. As you guys can see, you already have a mushroom head shape there. Okay, so you can make it a little bit more wider like this. This look better. And the next step is the body of the mushroom. So what I'm going to do is same as this one, rectangle tool, and I'm going to draw a box. And again I will use the corner, but this time only these 2 corners first. And I select these 2 corners using the direct selection tool and bring it like this. Okay. And now what I want to do is I want to make this part, the top part, like a curve like this, and I'm going to repeat the same curve on the head also, so it will look like you are seeing from below. Okay, and it will give a nice 3D look to this mushroom as well. So first I'm going to use this part, bottom part, and I'm going to add a anchor point by add anchor point tool here. So I'm going to click, and it will add one more anchor point in here. And then you can go back to the direct selection tool, select this one, and make the corners, convert it to a bezier corner, a smooth corner, which will create 2 bezier point for us. So we can bring it higher here and make it like this. So if you want to make this one as a symmetrical, all you need to do is go back again, press the S key, and drag. Now you can see both side looks the same. All right, okay, so this one looks fine. I will bring it a little bit more higher. Okay, so I want to give the same effect to this one also, so I will bring this one in here, and then here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a copy of this one, and I will bring this one here and select both of them and align center, and I will use the pathfinder tool here, and I'm going to cut this point from this shape. So I'm going to use the minus front, so which is this one is the front part. So I'm going to select both of them and minus the front part from the back shape. All right, So I make it as like this. Now, okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to make this part smaller so it will look better. And I'm going to select both of these and bring it until we get that shape. Okay, I think this look better. So now let's make this thing bigger, and I'm going to apply colors for this. For this one I will apply a red color, something like that. And for this I'm going to apply a nice beige color, something like this. Alright, so our basic shape of the mushroom is ready, but I want to give a 3D effect to this one. To do that, we need to, there are many ways you can do, but basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to show the dark and highlights of this 3D object. Let's say the light is coming from this side like this in here. So this part will be lighter, and this part and the underneath here and here will be darker. So that's what I'm going to do. Before I do that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put those circles, white circles on the head. So let's have some circles here, maybe white, and make it as white circle. And I'm just going to copy this by selecting this and alt pressing and dragging, so it will copy this circle. So I'm going to put one circle here, one more in here, and maybe a small one in here. Okay, looks good. All right guys, so our basic shape of the mushroom is ready. Maybe I will copy one more, which will have like a random feeling. So let's start with the body. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to separate the darker tones from the lighter tones, as I was saying, because of the light from here. You can draw on top of this one a new shape, or the easiest way is using the shape builder or pathfinder tool. I will be using pathfinder tool again. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this one, body, and again make a copy, alt drag. Okay, so I made a copy, then bring back again. So what we are going to do is we are going to show this part a darker tone than the other area. So I will keep one copy here because we need to reuse that again. So I will keep here, and first I select both of them. We don't need the outline for now, so I'm going to take out the outline, and I'm going to take out the outline of this one also. Okay, so we have these two, and now I'm going to cut this one. To cut this one, select both of them, go to the pathfinder and divide. Okay, we made a divide already. So now each of them are individual objects. You can double click, and we don't need this part. I will delete this part, and this one I'm going to give a darker tone than this. So maybe like this. Yeah, this is good. All right, so now I can see the light is coming from here, and the back behind you see the darker tones. Also underneath the head in this part, we are going to give a darker tone also. To do that, I select this one first and bring a copy. We don't need the outline. I bring it here, and I will select this object again, make a cut, and now we don't need this part in here. In all of these sections, we can make them as one object, and you can unite by using the pathfinder tool, unite, and again we can give that darker tone to this object, which is this. I think this is too dark. Maybe it doesn't matter guys, you can use your own preference for color wise. Okay, I'm happy with this. All right, and this look better, and even if you want, you can make this a little bit more corners. Since it's an object, what we can do is we can go to the view and make it as an outline. Select these, select this direct selection tool, select both of them and make it as a rounded object, and you have to select this one also and make it as a rounded object. Alright guys, so this look cool. Now we have our basic shape of the face already. And we don't need this one anymore, and I'm going to do the same step to the head as well. But this time you may find it a little bit different than here, because I will show you guys. I double click this object and I will make a copy by dragging with Alt key, and if you see, it's here when you bring it like this, here this part is okay, but we don't need to cut in here. So what I'm going to do is I double click this one again, the copied part, and I'm going to delete these unnecessary anchor points and this one as well. And now you see this is nicely overlapping, and we only need to cut this part. Now before we cut, we don't need a fill here, so I'm going to say none, and you can arrange again like this. And there is one more anchor point, we forgot to delete this one. Yeah, okay, so now I'm going to place in the correct place, I think this one here, so it's nicely, maybe bring it a more bit higher like this. Yes, so now you can see it's nicely coming from here and it's going all the way up to the top. Okay, alright guys, so now I go back to the earlier layer like this, select both of them and make a divide. Alright, so it has divided the mushroom head into two objects, and you can double click and select this one and give a darker tone like this. Okay, so it's look better, but this one is overlapping, I don't like it, and we will bring it here. And I'm going to do the same in here as well. What we can do is we select this one, all drag, copy this object. Now we make this as one object by uniting them. As the same way we did in here, we don't need all these parts, so I'm going to delete all these anchor points. And now again we make it as a line, but we just to see. After that, we don't even need the line, we need to deselect the line and bring it bigger and adjust accordingly where you want to place this. I want to place this like this and like this. Alright, now you select this one, we don't need a outline. I delete the outline and select this one and make a divide. Okay, so it has divided the part. We can double click and select this part, or you can use the direct selection tool to select this part and select as a one object. And again you can select all of these darker tone area and unite them as one object. Okay, and as I was doing here, I'm going to make this also as a corner object. So I select this one first, rounded corner guys. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this as a rounded corner, and I'm going to leave it like that. Okay, alright, so our basic mushroom shape is ready. Now what I'm going to do is I want to make a shiny area, just because this is a cartoonish things, so we can have some shiny elements to it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a line in here, just a simple line, and make the line outline color white, and bring the stroke width higher, maybe like this. Yeah, and make this caps circle. To do that, we can go to the stroke and make the cap rounded cap. Then you can have this nice looking caps here, and I can copy, all drag again and place it in here, And this time I'm going to make this one a little bit smaller, so we can have this nice like shiny effect in here. And I also want to change these colors so that the shiny part will look nicer. So I'm going to select all this white object and make it as a light reddish tone, something like this, almost like a pink object. Okay guys, so this look better. I will make this one a little bit more smaller. Yeah, okay, so this one looks better. And now our mushroom shape is almost ready, but I also want to give a outline to make this one like a line art kind of things. And to do that, I will select all of them and make a copy and unite everything as one object. And now I want to give a line color which darker than the shadow. So I will select the darker shadow and maybe make it even more darker like this here, and make it as a outline color. So just you need to click on this arrow which will swap the fill color to outline. And again I will make this a little bit more thicker and make the stroke corners, all these corners, smoother by selecting this one in here. And also the ends also round, because I'm going to delete some of these parts. And you can have this as a align to center or align to outside. So I will make it as align to outside. Oops, align to outside. And I'm going to bring this object here. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete some of these parts. So I'm going to use this plus anchor point to add some more anchor points in here. I'm just randomly selecting, guys, so maybe in here also. And I will select the direct selection tool and delete some of these anchor points, which will give these smooth lines which are like breaking line effect, which I like it. So I'm going to delete this one in here and select until here, and sorry guys, until here. And then again I'm going to delete this I'm going to delete this part here. Okay, I delete that one, and in here I'm going to have one more in here which will look like a broken line effect. Alright guys, this looks really cool. Okay, so I think our basic shape, I still feel like this one is a little bit more darker, so let's make it, yes, this look fine. Okay, maybe this stone, we can change this color again. So you can select all this object and go to recolor, and the darker tone, maybe we bring it like this in here. Yeah, okay. All right, last thing I want to do is draw the eyes and the mouth part. And before that, what I'm going to do is this shape is not going to change in our animation. So I'm going to make this as a base body layer, and I'm going to draw the mouth and the eyes in a separate layer, because when we bring this object to After Effects, when it's layer separated, it's easier for us to use or animate in After Effects. Okay, so in here, mouth and eyes. Okay, alright guys, so first we start with the eyes. It's really simple guys. I'm going to use only the basic shapes. I'm going to draw eyes like this, maybe give a pink color like this one, and make a white eye glow like this. And I will just rotate a bit and make it as one group, and I will use the mirror tool in here, reflection tool, and make double click on it and make a vertical copy. Okay, so our eyes are ready, aligned, and we can make it center. And maybe we give a different tone for this one, because for the mouth I'm going to give the pink color. So maybe let's change to maybe blue color. I'm going to draw the mouth. To draw the mouth also, I'm going to use the ellipse tool and create a shape like this, ellipse shape, and copy again and make this circle bigger, and bring it here and select both of them and make a cut. Using the pathfinder tool, you can minus off the front part, which will give us this nice object. And for the mouth, I'm going to give this color, and maybe we can also have a bit more nice tongue shape like this. Make it center, align, and again in the pathfinder tool, use the divide tool to divide every one of them, and we don't need this part now. And select this one in here, and I give the base color to the tongue, and this look nice. All right, guys. So our basic shape is ready. Now what I'm going to do is I don't need this one anymore, so I delete this part, and I make this object a little bit more smaller and make it to the center. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a shadow. So the shadow I'm going to draw in another layer, because shadow also going to animate in the animation. So make it as shadow, and I'm just going to give a smooth circle like this. And first we also have a background, so let's have the background layer, and I'm going to give a nice blue color background to go with the eyes, maybe a little bit more lighter, yeah, something around this line. And this one I'm going to make it a bit more darker. Yeah, this look fine, and I don't need outline for this one. And I center it to the object. Okay guys, I think our basic shape is ready. Oh, and one more thing I forget. This is one stage of the face and mouth. This one is mouth, eyes open. And the next one is what I'm going to do is I'm going to make another layer, mouth, the eyes closed. Okay, in this one I will hide this one for a while. Maybe we can keep this as a reference. And in this one I'm going to draw the eyes as a closed eye. So what I'm going to do is I draw like this, just using the path tool, or you can also use the polygon tool and create this part and delete one side of it. But this one is easier. Now this time we are going to create an outline, and the outline color we choose from this one in here. And again we go back to the reflect tool and double click, and copy vertical copy and place it under here. Okay guys, so what will happen is when the mouth is the eyes are open, it will look like this. When the eyes are closed, it will look like this. All right guys. Okay, so one more thing I need to do is all those circles in here, and I will create circles. These are just random circles. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place random circles in here. These are just, and I'm going to, oops, I lock this layer, and I'm going to give random colors from my swatches also. So I'm going to give red color to this one and make I don't need outline for this, and I'm going to give a yellow or orange color. And again, for this one, maybe a green color. I'm just randomly selecting, guys. There is no preference here. And this one also, we don't need outline, and I'm just going to give yellow, maybe a bit more darker, maybe brown. Yeah. Okay, guys. So since I think our model is ready to animate now, but before I go to After Effects to animate, I need to do some little bit changes to this model so that we can easily animate in Adobe After Effects. So what I'm going to do is I need to separate all these circles first. Because if we keep all of them in one layer, when we import this file to After Effects, all of them will come as one layer. But my idea is to animate all of these circles separately. We can also do the same circles in After Effects, but what I want to show you guys today is how to do a design in Illustrator and use that Illustrator file to animate. So what I'm going to do is, since we have 4 circles, I'm going to create 3 more layers, and I'm going to copy all individual circles to each layers here. Each layer I have created, and I just click this one and bring this one here, which all these 4 circles will be in their own layer. So all of them will come as separate layers in After Effects. So I just rename them 3 circle 4. Oops, circle 1. Okay. And one more thing I need to do is I need to copy this mouth in here and place it to this close eye folder. Later I will show you why I did that. Okay, I just copy Ctrl C and select the closed mouth layer, and I will place in the same place by pressing Ctrl Shift V or Command Shift V in Mac. Alright, so now we have 2 layers here, 1, 2, and both of them have its own mouth. Alright guys, so let's save it. Now go to After Effects and import the file. So to import the Illustrator AI file, we go to File and Import and select File here, and select the AI file you have just created, which is this one. But before you import, make sure you are importing as a composition, not as a footage. If you import as a footage, everything will come as one object, one layer, which you won't be able to edit individually. So I'm going to select composition, and I'm going to say import. Alright, so it already imported the file with a composition. So now we open up composition, and in here you guys can see it put everything into individual layers, same as the layers in Adobe Illustrator, and each of these circles are in their own layers, and the timing is 1 second, which is fine, I guess. But we check how it is later on. Also, we can change these times to 2 or 3 seconds if you want. Alright, so let's start from the basics first. First thing what I want to do is I want to go to this base layer, the base shape, which is this one, base body layer, this one. And one thing I wanted to say, guys, if you want to do this kind of animation, please try to keep names nicely in Illustrator, put proper names, so that for you guys can easily edit that in After Effects. If not, you will find it difficult to find which layer is which, and will be wasting some time. Alright, so I will go to this base layer. The first animation I want to do is make this mushroom go up and down like this. We are going to loop this animation, so start and end of this animation must be look the same, so that it will have a smooth loop. So what I'm going to make sure is all of these objects are going to be at exactly the same place like this at first and last frames. So I will select the body base here, and I will open up that body base layer. And once you open up, you can see the transform option here. Open up the transform option, and here you have different options: anchor point, position, scale, rotation, and opacity. So you can animate all of these options by selecting these keyframes. Since we are going to play with the position and the scale, maybe a bit rotation, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select all these keyframes. I'm going to give one keyframe here. So I'm going to select precision and scale and rotation, all of them. There is one keyframe here, and I'm going to do the same for the last frame also. And I'm going to give the same keyframes, same as this precision, scale and rotation. I'm going to give keyframes in here. So whatever we are doing here, when we reach to the end and the start, it will have start frame is here. See, we made a mistake. We need to bring this one to the start frame in here. So when the start and the finishing part it's going to look exactly like this, so that our animation loop will not have any broken parts. All right, guys. So now we have given the first and last stage. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the center point of this timeline. I think it's this one, and I'm going to smoothly drag this part to the top, or you can use the precision axis from here. All right, okay. And now when you started to move, it already created a keyframe in here. Now you guys go back and see our animation, or you can press the space bar. It will show you guys how it's animating. Okay, yes, this is okay. But you guys may wondering why it's only the body is animating but the other parts are not moving. Don't worry, guys. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the first frame again, and I'm going to make sure the body is the parent object and all the other objects are child object. Once you define the parent object, and the child objects will automatically follow the parent object. You can make changes to child object which will not affect the parent, but whatever changes you make to the parent object will apply automatically to the child. So in our case, all of these are attached to the body, except the circles in here, the eye close layer, open mouth, and both of these layers, this one and this one, both of them are attached to the base body. So what I'm going to do is I click one layer, and I will select from here, select the parent object. You can just select this spiral mark in here and click and drag and select the base body. And you can do the same for closed eye also. Select this one, select and drag to the base body. Now you can see in here parent link. We have defined a parent link to these two layers, which is the base body. Now you go back and animate and see all our child objects are following the parent object. Okay, cool. All right, guys. So our first animation is done. All right. So the next step is, if you guys see this animation look really fake. I mean, there's no life to this animation, because it's look like something is just moving up and down with the same velocity, same speed. So I don't feel it like a real animation, a real thing. To make it a little bit more organic, there are so many ways to do it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use easy ease option. So first I will show you what easy ease. Right now the animations are straight lines. There is no variations in the graph. I will show you guys what I mean in here. So select this one position and go to the graph editor. As you guys see, it's just straight lines in here. So to change this one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select all of these three keyframes. and right click and go to keyframe assistant and change to easy ease, which you can see guys, these keyframes are changed now. Now you see the animation here, you see a little bit more smoothness. It's starting slowly and ending it slowly, and again it will have a different feeling to the total animation. If you go now and see the graph, you guys can see what I mean. The graph is very smooth. It starts slowly and gradually it's increasing, then again come back again, it will do the same thing again. So what I'm going to do in here, when it reaches the top part, I want to make it bit more slower, then start slower. So I click this part here, same as Illustrator base here, or Illustrator path objects. You can edit this one to be little bit more smoother, and here also little bit more smoother. Now you guys play and see the animation. When you go, it will look like slow. When it reach to the bottom, it will be faster. By changing these things in here, you can make it even more faster. Now if you see, when it reach to the end, it's getting more faster. And also starting point, I'm going to make it little bit more faster, so that I will bring the graph little bit more closer to here. And now if you see, it start fast and become slow, and when it comes down, it will be fast. Now we have that smoothness to it, and there is a smooth loop is appearing as well. Okay guys, so I hope you guys understood what is this mean. Anyway guys, I will do another tutorial on this part in here, how to use these graphs to make the animation, and how to use the ECEs to make smooth transitions like this. Alright, so let's go back to the timeline. The next thing what I want to do is let's spice things up a bit. So now we have this smooth animation going up and down. But still I feel like it's not like organic as real life objects. So what I want to do now is, when it goes up in here, I want to give a little bit more a slight bend to this object. To do that, what I'm going to do is I select this layer, go to FX from here, or you can go to your FX and presets library in here and search for bend. And there is CC bend. There is a couple of things you will see in here. What I'm going to apply for this one is apply CC bend it. So I'm going to apply the CC bend tool here. Some of these parts are missing, so because of these start and end points, let's bring down the start point below until, I think maybe until here. Yeah, and also the end point we bring it up maybe until here. But what I want to do is, when in this stage I want to give a zero bend, and also when it reach in here I want to give another zero. You can just open up this bend here, effect, and give a CC bend. You open up this part here and give a 0, and we go to the last frame again, and I will give a 0, and we make sure all the keyframes are right there. But when we go to halfway of this halfway mark, which is 30 frames, I will give a slight bend, maybe like 0.5. And same thing when we reach to this level in here, I will give minus 0.5. Okay, now you animate and see. What you will see is there is a smooth. Maybe we increase this and see, instead of 0.5, let's make it 1. And in here, let's make it minus 1. Oops. Minus 1. Okay, now play and see. Alright guys, now you can see there is a little bit more bubble effect here, which is what exactly I'm looking for, and it's look really cool guys, and there is really a organic feel to it. And also, as I was saying earlier, instead of this straight line look, we give a easy ease effect to all of these keyframes. Click on it and go to keyframe assistant and select easy. You can also press F9. It will apply the easy ease effect. And play now and see. Now you guys will see the bubble effect is little bit more smooth, and it's really look like the face is moving, and that is what we wanted. Okay guys, so let's move on to the next step. The next step is I'm going to animate the shadow based on this mushroom animation. So it's going to be a simple animation also, because when it moves up here, you will see a smaller shadow and the opacity will be lesser. When it reach closer to the ground, you will see the shadow something like this, full opacity with a larger circle. And we go to the shadow layer, and again you can open the transform tool here. And first thing what I want to do is I want to play with the scale. Before I start play with the scale, I don't want this height and width connected, so I'm going to take out this chain here, so we can increase only one side of this circle like this, which is what exactly I needed. So let's go back. I think this 100%, in this stage we need to increase this one a bit more, maybe like this. Yeah, it's fine. So I will put 150 in here and create a keyframe. And if you remember, we need to do the same in here also. Let's give a keyframe so that the loop, we don't have any problem with the loop. And again, if we go in here, where's the higher stage, in this stage we are going to make the scale to maybe like this, yeah, this size. And now we are going to play with the opacity. We go back to the first frame and click a keyframe for the opacity. In this stage we need to have 100% opacity, and when we go to the last frame we will have 100% opacity. So create another keyframe, and when we reach in here, which is the highest level of this animation, we will make the opacity to maybe 25. So if we animate now and see, we have this animation. Okay guys, and as always, because there is a smoothness to this animation, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure all of them are easy by selecting all these keyframes and pressing F9. Now you can see all these changed, and now if you see the animation, it will have this smooth effect to it. I feel like this is too much, so what I'm going to do is I will make sure when it reach, the size is not too much. Maybe we will keep it like 80%, yeah, 80%, like this. So now let's animate and see. Yeah, I think this one is a little bit more realistic. What I'm going to do is I'm going to animate this open and close eyes. You guys can keep here and still edit these layers from here also, but for this tutorial what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this mouth open and eyes open and eyes closed. Let's make it as a pre-composition, and also please make sure to select this adjust composition duration to the time span of the selected layer and say OK. When you go back, you guys can see it still have the same timing as earlier, but we have lost one thing because of we make it as a composition. We lost the parent-child connection, so I will again connect this to the base body by just dragging this spiral link to the base body, and you guys will see there won't be any issues with this connection again. Alright, so now we go to the pre-composition. So we are inside the pre-composition now. Pre-composition mean it will put both of those layers into one composition, so we can go into that composition and edit the things what we wanted in here. So what I'm going to do now is, when it's in the zero position, zero level, the first frame, I want this closed eye to be hidden. So I will make the opacity to 0 and make a keyframe. And also I go to the last frame and make the opacity 0 and make a keyframe. But when it reach to the highest level, I want the eyes to be closed, because the character is afraid of heights, maybe. Just to give a nice organic feeling to it, I will make sure the eyes is 100% visible, but the open eye layer, or I will open the transform here, and for open eye I will make sure the eyes are closed. But when we go to the first level, the open eye is 100% on, and here also the open eyes, last frame, the open eye is 100% on. So now you guys can see it's coming like this, but it's not what we wanted. When the character is going up, the character's eyes are open. So from here until here, the character's eyes are open. So here we will have 100%. And when it reaches to the top, the eyes will be suddenly closed. And from here onwards, this will be 0% until here will be 0%, and the closed eye will be 100% on. So going up time, eyes will be always open. So I go back to here and make sure it's 100%. Oops, 0%. And suddenly we get the closed eye. So if you guys play and see, you will have this smooth transition, close, coming down, open, going up. Alright? Okay guys, so let's go back to the mushroom layer. Now we play and see how it will look. Okay, so when it going up, it's open. When going down, it's closed. Going up, open, and when coming down, it's closed. Alright guys, cool. And also make those keyframes easy, so that our animation will be smoother. So I go back here again, select all of these keyframes and press F9. Alright, so let's go back to the mushroom layer and see what we have in here. Alright, okay guys, looks cool. Okay, okay, so let's say in this stage, if we want to make the mouth size change or something like that, we can easily do. Let's say in this case, let's say we are going to make the mouth size smaller when it's open, and when it's going down, no, maybe when it's coming down, the mouth size same size as this. But when we go up, the mouse size will be little bit more smaller. We can easily do by going back to Illustrator, and we select the close, open this layer in here, and make the mouse size maybe smaller like this. Yeah. And all we need to do is file and save, and go back to After Effects, and you guys will see it already updated. Now you play and see when going up small and coming back smoothly changing. Okay, alright guys, now what is left is animating these circles. So let's animate these circles one by one, and we go to select all of these circles, and we make sure the first and last keyframes are same. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open the transition, and going to apply keyframes for everywhere in here for all four of them. And I will go to the last frame and again create keyframes for all of these. Actually, we don't need to make keyframes for anchor points, but it doesn't matter. I will create keyframes in here. So I'm going to randomly go to different timelines in here and going to move these things to different places, a slightly different places. And I go here. Oops. And same, I'm going to change the position here. So I'm going to do the same for all four of them. There is no plan. I'm just randomly changing these things. Maybe I can also have a scale difference. Yeah, maybe like that. And I go here and a bit more here. And I will do the same for other two layers as well. All right, so let's play and see. Okay guys, so it's look cool. Not sure about this last animation, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this one. I think this one, and I will delete this part and bring this one in here because it's a larger circle. We don't need so much movement, so let's make it like this. Now animate and see, and yeah. All right guys, I think this look cool. We almost done with our animation, and the last thing I want to do is, as always, make all of these circles also. Select all of these keyframes and press F9 to make them as smooth easy as animation. And now we animate and see what will happen. We have these smooth movements in the screen. Okay, now I close all of these layers, and we can make all of these also a pre-composition. So let's make it a pre-composition. Right click and pre-composition and make it as circles. All right, and let's give this circle parent object as a base body. Now the circle will animate. Also, it will move with the shape, which will give like it's moving with those shapes and animating. One thing I notice in this animation is the eye movement is starting before the it started to move. So I think if we need to move that animation little bit delay. So let's do it and see how it will look. So I will go to this pre-composition here. Instead of starting from here, I will move all of these to maybe here, and it will delay the close eye effect. Let's go to the mushroom layer and see how it will look. I think this look better. Maybe we move a bit more, maybe like 5 more frames. Yeah, like this. Now if we see, okay guys, I think this look better. Okay guys, so I think this is looking better. Alright guys, thank you for watching. I hope you guys like the tutorials and learn something from this tutorial. Thank you guys for watching, and I will be doing more tutorials like this in the future. In the future, I will go dive in further and explain you guys how to change from one shape to another, and how to mop up shapes, and also how to use the easy ease graph to make even more smoother. And see you guys in the next tutorial.